In the middle of September, we arrived in Bologna, which was to be our home for the next 5 months or so while I taught in Loyola's LLM program. Bologna is famous for its two towers, one a bit taller than the other, and you can climb the tall one, which my brother-in-law Carlo and I decided to do. But it's 1,000 steps and a lot of circling. We made it, Carlo. You're still alive. But the view is amazing. Look at that. We're now looking down at the smaller tower. You can see it's a long ways down, but you get some great views of the city. Here you see the Via Zamboni and the University District. And there you see the Basilica of San Petronio and the main square, the Piazza Maggiore. Here we have a view to the south, which is where our apartment was. Near our apartment was the lovely Giardini Margherita. A particularly nice event at the park was this 19th century dance group, which even invited some audience participation. But fortunately for the audience, most of the dancing was done by professionals. Bologna is surrounded by hills, especially in the south. And in those hills is the church of San Luca, a famous pilgrimage area, which you reach by a long series of steps and 666 covered porticos, which bring you up to the sanctuary. It's a fairly typical Italian church in the Baroque or Rococo style, very I guess you could say ponderous, a bit overdone in my opinion, a lot of gold and things of that sort. But it also contains an image or an icon of the Virgin Mary, which is felt to have miraculous powers. We now move down to the center of Bologna. Here you find a number of old palazzi owned by wealthy and prestigious families of the city. Wonderful old door there, which has been preserved along with a type of peephole. And then over here, a holder for a torch on the left side. They didn't have electricity. And a place to tie up your horse. This building seems to have been a guild hall or a hall where the merchants gathered. It's a lovely old building that was recently restored right around the same area near the two towers. And next to it, another old palace or palazzo. This one also probably 500, 600, 700 years old, judging by the looks of it. Bologna is a lovely place to walk under those covered porticos, but there still seem to be quite a few people who just can't get out of their cars. Also an awful lot of motorcycles, which sometimes gets to be a bit unpleasant. So one of our favorite places to get away from all that traffic is the Piazza Santo Stefano, which is a very quiet pedestrian-only zone with a very old church, of course, the Church of Santo Stefano, which we're going to go inside and have a look here. It's the oldest church in Bologna, dating back originally to about 400 or 500 AD. You can see that this is a very old church, very dark. They didn't really know how to make big windows in those days. But it nonetheless has this mysterious ambience about it. There actually are I believe 5 different churches which are connected to each other. This is one of the larger ones, which contains an altar at the front and also a tomb or sarcophagus for a couple of saints, one of them being Saint Agricola. This is another church, the Church of San Domenico, which is the mother church of the Dominican Order of Friars. And the founder, Saint Dominic, is buried in this church. Now there you've got a couple of Dominican friars. Italy is largely Catholic, of course, but there also was a Jewish community, as we see from that building's inscription and this tombstone. As you can see, it's written in Hebrew. In the center of town is also a very nice food market. Italy is known for food, and Bologna within Italy is the epicenter of food culture. Look at all those hams out there. And the cheeses. Well, I could skip the cheeses. And then, of course, there's pasta. In fact, we even have pasta contests. There's a lot of public interest here. In fact, there's even media interest in a contest by chefs who are making tagliatelle, the distinctive Bolognan type of pasta. It looks like an awful lot of work, but yeah, the results are definitely worth it.